Alright, Flashback Pheasant Tail take 5. For some reason I can't get this down today. I can't figure it out. Anyway, let me go ahead and get started here. I will get it done. I just can't figure it out. Something's going wrong at every segment of the video. Alright, so today I'm going to tie a Flashback Pheasant Tail. It's a imitation of a mayfly pattern. Very effective fly. Based on the reading and my experience, it can be fished anywhere. But let me go ahead and get started. I'm going to be tying this in a size 14. Hopefully it's a little easier for you guys to see. I've already tied in my lead wraps, or my wire wraps here. And it's not the cleanest job because I just had to cut off all the materials from the last fly that I attempted here. So let me go ahead and tie in here. I am using a rusty brown 70 denier Danville thread. Alright, so I am tied in. I want to build a little ramp to my wire wraps there. And the reason for the wire wraps is to just make the fly just a little bit heavier to help it sink a lot faster to get to where the fish are, especially with the style of fishing that I do, which a lot of people call Euro nymphing, tight lining, whatever the case may be. Alright, so building my little ramp. I'm going to go back to about the bend of the hook. So it's going to be a little bit of a bigger fly. But these can be tied in a size 14 all the way down to a size 20. One of the biggest fish that I've caught was actually caught on the size 18. Size 18, but it was a hotspot pheasant tail, which I will make a video for that too. But I'm just getting started here with the basics, just to show you the basis for that. And like I said, I think this fly is the foundation for a lot of different flies, like the Frenchie and different nymphs that people tie. But a lot of these people will carry these in their box. You'll find these in a lot of different rivers, from what I read, all over the world. So I just cut off about 7 pheasant tail fibers. Now I'm just going to go ahead and tie them in at the back. I'm going to give myself a couple counterclockwise. I'll give myself some counterclockwise spin to tie in here. And I want to measure, I don't know, about half, more or less, from the eye of the hook down to about half the shank, and then just transfer to my hand, to my other hand, and loosely tie in. Like so. If I feel that the tail is too long, then I'm just going to simply adjust. Okay, now I can go ahead and crank down just a little bit to tie those in and set them in. Alright, I'm going to use a brassy size wire, UTC brassy size wire. I'm going to pull those feathers back with my other finger, and I'm going to tie in the wire on the other side of the hook, closest to me, and then just continue to build my taper. I don't need to worry about covering my wire wraps too much, simply because I'm going to put materials that will cover that up. Alright, so my ramp looks like it's coming around. A little bit of a taper here. And if you want to, at this point, you can tie in a half hitch if you are worried about your thread kicking over the top when you start to wrap your pheasant tail. Alright, so I choose to do this method where I'm just simply wrapping around the hook You can use your rotary function on your vise if you wanted to. And then I am going to go to about where those lead wraps are, which is about a quarter down from the hook eye on the shank. Like so. Okay, here I'm just going to go ahead and tie them in. Lock them in right there. Cut off the excess. And then counter wrap the wire. Just go in the opposite direction. This is supposed to give the fly a little bit more durability. Okay, so I'm going to capture this at about the same point that I captured the pheasant tail. And just helicopter it off. Or you can just cut them off with your scissors if you wanted to. But remember, use a separate pair of scissors other than the sharp ones that you have, because eventually the wire will dull out your scissors. Alright. Okay, so now I am ready for the mylar tinsel. And this is a medium size. So I'm just going to tie this onto the top. One of the things that I learned is to tie this opposite of the bend. So I'm going to tie it in upside down on the side closest to me and let my wraps carry it over. And I want this to try to end up right on top. Just like that. Okay, and the reason I tied it in upside down is you can see that it stays out of my way and I can still work it over. Okay, so now I'm going to build myself a wing case and legs. So I'm going to take another 8 or so fibers to create a wing case and the legs. Okay, so when you do this, you need to try to measure the best you can. You're going to tie them in with the pointed parts facing forward. And tie them in at the same tie-in point where you've been letting everything off, or tying everything off. And what's going to happen is as I tie these here and I bring the wing case over, I am going to push these backwards. And what I don't want is I don't want the legs to be too long or much further than the thorax that we're going to create here in just a second. So here I am going to tie these in, and I'm going to adjust them by pulling them back. You got to hold these tight because you'll have a straggler where you have one long one, and it just won't work. It doesn't look right. Okay, so I got these tied in. I'm going to adjust, pull them towards me, because every time that I wrap, it's pulling them the other way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and work my way back to about a quarter down the shank, and now I'm going to tie in some peacock curl. I'm going to take 3 strands just because it's the bigger hook. Like I said, on different variations of this fly, you can tie in different dubbing, which I'll show in a different video if you're going to tie in like a hot spot or but that's all personal preference. Okay, so let me go ahead and tie these in. Like so. Like I have to keep adjusting these because they keep wanting to follow the wraps. Alright, now I'm just going to wrap my peacock curl around. And And I'm just going to capture them. Again, just got to keep adjusting the tips. Got to be careful that you don't cut off your tips when you're doing this. Alright, so now I've got those tied in. I'm going to take the top portion of the pheasant tail that I tied in for the wing case, and I am going to split these legs just like that. Let's try to split them. Okay, as I split them and I've got them split, I'm going to comb these backwards and tie in the wing case. Alright, so they got those tied in. Cut these as close as you possibly can. And now I'm going to take the tinsel and follow the pheasant tail over the top, which will give me my flashback. I was also careful not to crowd. Oh my goodness, it's something every single time. Now my thread broke. Alright, well, let's see if I can't save it. This happened to me in another video, and I'm just going to wrap around like so. Give a couple more wraps to try to secure, and it broke again. Holy cow. Alright, well. Alright, here we go. I'm going to try to save this fly. I don't know what is going on today. Bad thread, old thread, I don't know. But I'm going to try to save this fly. Because the rest of the instructions I think are pretty good, other than the broken thread. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to try to capture all of this, try to lock it in. Hopefully it doesn't break a third time. And go with it. It is what it is. Okay, cut off the tinsel. Close. Just a couple more wraps to try to secure the broken thread. It should be fine. It's going to happen. And then just my whip finish. Alright, another little thing that you can do with this flashback is just put some resin on it. I wasn't going to do that, but now I am, because of the broken thread. So just using some UV clear resin. I'm going to put that over the top like so. It'll help secure the broken thread there. And then I'm just going to hit it with my torch, which is just about out of batteries. Unbelievable. Maybe I should check my gear before I start tying and putting this on YouTube. Alright, that should be good. It is dried. The torch worked. Gotta go replace those batteries. Okay, well, there you go. There's the Flashback Pheasant Tail. It's one of your standard flies that you should have in your box. Sorry about all the technical difficulties today. If you guys liked the video, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And follow me on Instagram at North Texas Fly Tying. Thanks for watching.